Speaking of Valentine's Day, somebody sent me a book which I just got. It's called How to Make Love All Night. How to Make Love All Night and Drive a Woman Wild. Now they give me this book 60 years too late.
Who's the author?
Why do they do that to us?
Who's the author?
I'll tell you this. One of our members of our organization, a terrific lady, a very, very, very good lady. She came out with a book a couple of years ago. It's called My Funny Valentine. My Funny Valentine. It's a terrific book. And she did such a great job, she didn't even put her name on the front of it, you know. Oh boy. Well, we'll find it somewhere. But My Funny Valentine, well, maybe she didn't want to admit that she wrote it. I don't know. We have books on sale tonight from each of the speakers. Each of the speakers will get 20 minutes. And the good news, we're going to dispense with Q&A tonight. Because okay, that's good. I'll say that's great. You don't have to write down any questions, you know. Just listen to them, because the theme of the evening tonight is how to woo and win the media. Believe me, I've been in the public relations business in the book area for over 65 years, and I'm still learning, believe me. And that's what I'm going to learn tonight from each of the speakers, how they do it, and how each of us can learn how to romance the media, because it's like a relationship. You've got to build this relationship with the media, whether it's radio, TV, or the print media of magazines or dailies or whatever. You've got to do your homework. You've got to do your research. And tonight, you're going to learn from each of the speakers. Our first speaker is Melinda Noren. Melindasu, will you come up here a minute? Melindasu is a great lady with our organization. She is currently the marketing director of our group, the book publishers. Now, she's a very smart lady. She got her start in public relations many years ago working in my office.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, she said she was working. What do I know? I was so busy. In those days, we didn't even have a computer, right?
No computer.
That was around the Civil War time. So right. what do we know, right?
Right.
No, but she how long did you slave drive with me?
Maybe a year. Maybe.
She served about a year with me. And when she asked for a raise, I said, you know, it's time for you to go. And she has a great son named Brandon. And I knew her late father, who passed away about, 2 years ago already?
Right.
2 years ago. A great guy. And here's a young lady who always learns from people. Now, she became an author. She became a coach, an editor. She's done so many things for people, not only authors, but people in the business world. And in the year 2016, she won an Irwin Award for, what is it, Irwin Award. For the best niche campaign?
Niche, not snitch. Niche.
Yeah, not
Okay.
snitch. Don't snitch on her.
No, niche.
It was for the best niche campaign
Right.
in the year 2016. And I believe she's revamping the book. And that's something each and every one of you should understand. If your book is not the number one on the New York Times best-selling list, there might be a reason. Yep. You might have to revamp the book, maybe the whole book, you never know, and give it a new title. But you never know. I know people have worked on the book for years and years, and all of a sudden the book explodes. But Melinda Sue has been our marketing director for about 2 or 3 years, and she pulled a Trump with us. She knew how to get elected. You know, she really did a great job, and she became the marketing director. And she, at every one of our meetings, we introduce her with a word or two from melindasu. You know, I don't know how we thought it up, but it was sort of catchy.
That was Irwin.
Yeah. So
Irwin's a punster.
Tonight,
Yeah.
she's going to give you about 20 minutes, as each of the other speakers will get, about 20 minutes each, and there won't be any Q&A tonight, so you can get home to your grandchildren and really enjoy the good life. But anyhow, Melinda Sue will talk about her current projects, what she's doing, how she's making money, and how her son is supporting her. Okay. So, well, she won't tell you all the secrets. Brandon wouldn't even tell me. Yeah, and he's a terrific young man. He's about 22, is he?
Yeah.
He's 22. So what's new with you at 22? Here she is, Melinda Sue.
Thank you. What an introduction. So I'm going to limit my conversation. Can you hear me okay? Yes. All right. I, by profession, am a public speaker. I do corporate training on air quality and transportation. I also work in organizations to help them market ideas. And it could be transportation, it could be a policy, but that's been my background. The door is this side.
Yeah. What's this? Yeah. Oh my God.
You have to move the chair.
Thank you for that.
Here you go.
We can move it.
Okay.
When it goes, fine.
Yeah, there you go.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's better.
I like this.
There.
Well, thank you.
What's your last name?
Pardon me? My last name, well, it's a good thing you asked. I'm Dr. Melinda Sue Noren.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, does that help?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah, thank
thank
you.
you.
Wow.
Just in case you were wondering who I was. Okay, I'm Dr. Melinda Sue Noren. That's to remind me. Okay, first of all, a round of applause is in order for our president, who had to find a location at the very last minute and did a great job. As he says, it's the most underappreciated job. It was so much work to find a delicious restaurant with the right size room, and you did an outstanding job, correct?
Yes.
Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sincerely. And we should be back at the other location, but I like the intimacy of this room, personally. All right, so what I have done is I've worked in the corporate world as well as working in public relations, which is a more interpersonal relationship, to help an individual market and promote themselves or market and promote their book, as I did with Irwin. So what I did for this meeting and for this group is I made an I Love Publicity Survival Guide, a mini book, just because Irwin is motivating. So I have a recap of much of what I'll be covering, but the intent of putting together a written piece was to have you analyze yourself. What's the difference between a doctor and somebody who hasn't gone through the program of a doctoral degree? Is that you learn to research and analyze and question. And since I got a doctorate in psychology, the first thing you question is yourself. Am I comfortable marketing myself? Do I feel comfortable talking to somebody who's interviewing me? Do I feel comfortable creating a book that promotes me because I don't feel comfortable doing that? So you first have to analyze, where are you comfortable doing your own publicity? And what do you want to have somebody else do for you? Because if you can't toot your own horn, then you need someone else to do it. Because you all wrote great books. You're doing great things. And if you can't promote, oh, great. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop and have my tea ice cream. Oh. Are they wonderful? How many servings? This is great. Okay, oops. So somebody's giving me a call right now.
Do you have a copy of that?
I do. I brought copies of my speakers summary. I'll talk to you afterwards if you would like a copy, but it's going to summarize everything I'm covering. So, in a nutshell, in talking about promoting yourself, and I have many different topics I want to cover, but just a few minutes to cover it. I like comparing what you do as individual authors in how you promote yourself. And the meeting is not just about the guest speakers, but about talking amongst yourself what works and what doesn't work. So you have to start off questioning where your comfort zone is, what you've done, and what you still need to do. There are different categories in which to start marketing yourself. Publicity. If a young man tells his date how handsome and smart and successful he is, that's advertising. If the young man tells his date she's intelligent, looks lovely, and is a great conversationalist, he's saying the right things to the right person. That's marketing. If someone else says the young woman to the young woman how handsome the gentleman is, how smart he is, and how successful her date is, that's PR.
Wow.
So what we're looking for is free publicity. We want someone else to say, hey, this is a good person, and say it sincerely. And so that is the difference between publicity and going out and buying your own advertisement or doing your own marketing materials. I'm combining them in my topic, but really, we want the free publicity. Ideally, that's where you want to be. So, in covering publicity, I'm going to ask you to always do your research. Your research begins with who's the journalist, who's the interviewer, what's the radio station. Here, I'm just going to move this before I serve you. Let me help. Okay, so your research is one, where's your comfort zone? And the second part of your research is who's out there. We've got traditional media, the newspaper, the magazines, the radio, and then we have, over the last 10 years, a whole new world of marketing and receiving publicity. Oh, I'm sorry, you really need that there. Okay. Okay. When you're trying to identify how to get publicity, you want to develop a relationship with the potential media. So Irwin is a genius. I'm just going to give you an example of what you want to do if you're good at getting publicity. Irwin remembers everyone's name. Irwin remembers how many kids they have. Irwin remembers a detail like when your father passed away. Right?
Yes.
This is the ground, elementary level of being successful. And if you're more like me and you want to keep notes, that's okay too. But get your little index card out before you call the person and go, hey, Martin, aren't you? How's your birthday going? Did you have a nice anniversary? I'm sorry about your dog passing. Whatever it is that's of interest to them.
want my chico die. I don't want my dog dying.
Oh no, I'm sorry, neither do I. They're better than people. Okay, so you want to ask questions about the person, and you want to make it personal, and you want to build a rapport. So if you're going to be successful with your publicity, rapport. Okay. Your media relationships. This is right from Irwin Zucker's very own conversation and 50, 60 years as a book publicist. Create and think relationship. These are direct quotes, mind you. Personality first, book second. Do your research on the host. Always watch the show first. Always watch the show first. Hold their interest. How do you hold their interest? Short sentences. Voice modulation. Erwin is a sweetheart. He put me on a radio show. The woman sounded like she was in her bedroom asking me questions. It's a radio. I don't know what she looks like. And what do you think about this? And Dr. Norn, let me ask you this question. So I matched her. Well, the answer is blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, Erwin, how did I do? And he goes, well, you were rather soft-spoken. And I thought, yeah, because I think I'm in this woman's bedroom having a conversation with her because she was very soft-spoken. He made a supreme point. Doesn't matter what they sound like. It's you you're selling. Modulate. See, have snappy, punchy buzzwords that you want to promote about your book. Have quotes from your own book. Don't read from your book. Erwin will go absolutely bonkers up here. If you bring a book and you want to talk about it, but are reading your words, you'll lose your audience. They can read the book. They want to meet your personality. Oh, wow, more? This is too much. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to start taking pictures of this food.
What flavor is
Okay.
that? Fruit. What?
No, that's fruit. Is that lychee nut?
All right. Are you happy with the food here?
Yes.
I'm telling you. I think, thank you. Thank you very much. I'll take it personal by this point. Okay, so let me keep going. Earn their trust, show them love. And I mean real love, like you really care about them, not like you're just, hey, how you doing? And now let me tell you about me. Wait for the answer. How you doing? Okay. Some of this you know, it's basic. I'm going to tell you some stuff you don't know. All right. Consideration. If you're creating publicity, I'll tell you what I learned in this 2016 doctorate degree. Inclusion and diversity are two key words next to sustainability. Okay? These are very, very important words if you're in your own world and you're in your own work environment and you're in your own topic. Diversity and inclusion. If you want to get more publicity, include more people in the text of your writing, more examples. Diverse generations, diverse physical abilities, diverse lifestyles. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
If you weave this into your characters, then people will find themselves in your writing if it's fiction. If you're talking business publications, then you also want to include a variety of personalities and people in your text. All right, considerations for your book contents and design. Try and make it as diverse as possible. I want to show you, I absolutely love this. I hope you are all doing this. The postcard matches the book exactly. Not space, not sideways, it matches the book exactly. That's publicity, and you leave these all over the place. Not just handing them to people, but all over the place. You accidentally leave some in bookstores. You accidentally leave them in the gas station. You accidentally leave them in the grocery store, by the book section. Do you know, I went to hypnosis school. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist.
Wow.
And the thing that was fascinating about that school is that most people who went to the school went to it because they found a flyer somewhere and thought it was meant to be that they showed up there. I was shocked at how many people found a piece of information and took it as God talking to them that they should be there. Okay, moving along. I like the bookmarks. How many of you that have your books produced already have bookmarks?
Lila Silver.
Okay, that's not enough. That's not enough. I'm sorry, I have to catch you. All of you have your bookmarks. Let me mention one more thing about your postcards. Postcards are good. I like the front. There's a little problem on the back. Leave space for a label and mailing. Okay? Unless you have two versions. Always leave space so you can mail it out. Bookmarks. People save the bookmarks. Make them unique. Different paper, different color, little style, clipped edges in a unique way. Are you with me on that? Yeah. That's your publicity. That's your marketing. That's something that a reporter might say, this is different. A little girl I met at the book fair at USC, a little girl, 9 years old, was selling her book. There she had a bookmark with the little thingy that you get at a little jewelry store, like a little nothing on the edge, like a little key. And it was the key to the secret of her little story. And it was adorable. And I said, that little girl is smarter than some adults selling their books. Right? Yeah. Make it unique and memorable. Then they'll have only a very inexpensive bookmark and they'll say, maybe I'll get the book. All right, you with me on this one? Look at the bookmarks that are out here and your peers bring them, and you all should be buying each other's books. And if you're not going to buy, get a free book. And if you're not, once you get your free book, on your email, on your social media, start recognizing the authors in this group. Do yourself a favor. This is the best place to start. I've received wonderful books. I've taken photos with wonderful authors, and then I send it forward on my social media. Okay, I don't just photograph the food, but the very nice people. Now I'm going to mention a launch team. I don't have much longer. I'm going to mention the launch team for, who did I mention before? Maria Shriver. A lot of people asked me to summarize my comments. I added that to this publication. The launch team. Maria Shriver asked on Twitter, does anybody want to be on the launch team? I said, yeah, I'd like to. I'm part of the book publicist group. I'm marketing director. May I? I got no word back, and I thought I didn't get accepted. And they had sent it out, but it went to spam. Yes. 100 people started on the launch team. This was like being a fly on the wall. It was incredible. The whole process. You start off with a group of people that you like and trust. Invite them to start helping you market your book. She, being from the family she's from, said to her launch team, which gave the title of ambassador, ambassadors, do you find any memorable quotes or useful phrases? So now we're quoting Maria Shriver. Right? In our media campaign. Do you have in your book memorable quotes? Quote yourself. Get it in there. And have your friends market that. Nice. I like it. These passed around bookmarks. All right. So the launch team was very, very successful. Her book went to a bestseller. To help market the book and show top sales, if you bought a book, you got one free up to a certain quantity. That way you had to go in and buy, and that way you got something in return. And the purpose of having you buy is that now you're a qualified reviewer. So if you are launching a book, go in at a lesser price, give out as many as you can get out there, and say, give me a review. And hopefully it's a good review. All right. The launch team was so successful that the little lady went and started a second book. Same color scheme. This is part of your publicity and marketing. It's a theme. And we heard at one of our previous meetings, like Mark Levin putting together his third, fourth, fifth book. They like authors who write more than one book. Think about that. Don't put everything in one book. Break it into 2 books or 3 books. They like people who put out more than one book. They get repeat buyers in the bookstore. So Maria Shriver had a really savvy assistant, and she says, why don't you make a journal, not of your opinions and feelings and meditations, but have it be an open journal for other people. Okay? Went on sale December of 2018. Sold like hotcakes. Bestseller, second bestseller. She loves her launch team. Some got a free copy with a Christmas card. Good marketing. Are you going to say something nice about a free book you get at Christmas time with a thank you? Absolutely. Not only is she clever in the content, she's a very smart woman, but the concept of her books allows you to buy more than one. Most people will buy one of your books. The people in this launch team, I love it. I'm buying one for my boss. I'm buying one for my sister. I'm buying one. I can't really give it to you because it's autographed. That's my next thing. Okay, so not only does she give out these books, autographs. That's part of my notes. Ladies and gentlemen, don't just ever to anyone just sell them a book. Always ask them, can I personalize it? One, it stops people from stealing your darn books because it's got your name in it, right? And second of all, it becomes sentimental. And third, you become in a relationship with the person who was kind enough to write something. All right, so she wrote, thanks for everything you do. Like she could have written, hey Melinda, have a good day. But she was gracious. So in my comments, I want to add, don't just sign your name. Here, I'm famous. No! Say something about the person. Mark, you're a really nice guy. Martin, thank you for passing the food. No, whatever it is you need to say, write it in the book. Say something memorable and personable. Don't just sign it. Okay, I remember I was having Brooke Shields autograph a book, and you know what? Her boss said, the person in charge, don't write their name. Just sign it. And I'm thinking, wow, she doesn't meet my qualifications for good PR. Don't write their name. We don't have time. Write their name. You'll sell many more books. They'll appreciate you. All right, because you're famous and you don't know it. Some of you know it. But anyhow, the other thing I want to make sure you knew, oh, I'm sorry, I can't give that to you, is that when you write your book, and Irwin is kind enough to sell us these little stickers that say Irwin Award, put it on your book, 15 cents, I know I owe you. Okay, put it on your book. Put it on your book because it makes it look really nice. And the books that grab your attention on the shelf, if you see them, are the ones that somebody else approved of. So definitely add those stickers. Now, I'm running out of my time, so I'm just going to summarize. Group photo. A group of us from Maria's group went to Disneyland. It was, I actually was hosting a woman that was very ill. And when we all got there, I said, okay, let's take a group photo. Maria Shriver didn't use it, but you're walking around Disneyland, you don't want a heavy book, so I kind of cheated. I said, here, just hold a picture of a book, right? Color copies. And we all held it. That way we didn't have the weight of the book when you'd go on, the Pirates of the Caribbean or anything. So anyhow, we all had copies of the books. I would like you to do the publicity yourself and get your friends to hold your books. What's a book if nobody's holding it? Have a contest of your friends reading the book. Where did you take the book? What cities did you go to? What character do you like? How would you change it? What name will you give my next book character? Involve your fans that you don't know you have yet. Okay? Involve your family and friends. Start it small and it'll grow. Okay. Internet publicity, I'm just going to tell you, you want to know who are the influencers on Twitter. What makes them influencers? How can you become one? Okay, Katy Perry, number 107 million followers. Justin Bieber, number 2, 105 million. And Barack Obama comes in third, 104 million. When was this? As of February 4th this year. How's that? Oof. All right, so you have to make music to be famous. Forget writing. No, I'm kidding. All right, you're doing now laughing. Okay, YouTubers, find out who's famous on YouTube. Make your own little story about your book and why somebody would want it. Try and make it go viral. Do something silly. Okay. Instagram as well, and bloggers. So, you know what else is on here? Podcasts. If you're not familiar with these words, now your grandchildren have a value. Ask them, how can I do this? Before my father passed, he wanted me to make him go viral. He was 92. I want to go viral, Melinda. I'm like, okay, Pops. All right, so book clubs, create your own. Barnes & Noble had their first book club. I went to their very first meeting. How many? 632 stores all reading the same book. 10, 15 people in a room having a free cup of coffee talking about a book. Half of them had actually bought the book, some online. Good way to start. See what you need to do that. To get your marketing out there. Think out of the box. And I have a whole list of questions for you to ask yourself to think out of the box to do your marketing. My marketing background was more in corporations where we create materials and marketing things. Have a contest. Who's gone to the city that you've written about in your fiction? Right? Create merchandise. What company was going under, not doing so well, until a little 15-year-old girl came along named Hannah Montana. Disney was sinking. How did Hannah Montana take them out of the pits? I know because I had Disney stock, and I know because I watched Hannah Montana with my son. How'd they do it? This little girl, her show was cute. They merchandised it. The hat, the sheets, the socks, the pens. Merchandise your book. If you write a book on relaxation, package it with music or a candle. Do you see where I'm going with this? Your publicity is not to have one book and that's what you're marketing. You create a package. What is that package? Interview someone who read your book and write about it. Not just the famous people, but the regular people. All right? Involve them in being a part of your next book. What would you like to see? Like the TV shows, you know what they do? They have competitions. Who's going to be on their TV show? All of you write in, and one of you will get to be a walk-on our stage. Right? Okay. What year was Ijimajini born? There's a competition in the 60s. I know, I guessed. April 1st. Okay. But if you had written in and that was the right date, you would have won something. Add it to your book. Are you with me on this? You see where I'm going? Totally out of the box. It's not just a book in the media. It's about packaging something fun and interesting, reaching out to the different generations, as well as the brilliant marketing to the media. So you need the bloggers and the good old-fashioned newspapers and radio. And that, my friends, is all I have to say. Yay! Oh. And I need somebody to do me a favor. I need one picture of me. Always do this. Okay, from the furthest person, Martin. There's just a little button there. I'm going to teach you something. Whenever, if you can make it in focus, whenever you have a speaking engagement, always get a picture with the heads, the back of the heads, but that way you don't need approval, and then the speaker. After Maria Shriver had a conversation about her book, her daughter didn't want a picture taken because I was shooting pictures, and says, "Here, you stand at the microphone." I said, "All right." And her daughter took a picture of me, and I said, "That was the smartest marketing." And that was her daughter suggesting I didn't even speak. So what I like to suggest is that you take lots of photos of your fans getting autographs, your public speaking opportunities, the panels that you're on, etc. You with me on that?
Wait for the back of the heads. I didn't get that.
The back of the heads protect you from liability.
No, like,
The audience.
Oh, because it shows fans. It shows listeners.
No, I understand, but how do you do that? I mean, I'm
You
trying to
give your
figure out-
camera to Martin. You say, "Martin, I'm going to be at this location on this date, and I need you to take a picture." But you have somebody taking a picture of you and this is what you put in your marketing.
Yeah, but what are you talking about, the backs of their heads? I didn't
It's
get
from the
that.
back of the room, and then they show the audience.
Oh, I see, they're taking, okay.
It's
then.
like-
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Whenever you're at a microphone, photograph. Whenever you're in front of a group, from the back, photograph. And this becomes part of your press kit. Look at this dynamic speaker. This is what they're covering. Here's their topic, their key points. They could talk in more detail on your radio show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Can we buy your notes?
Yeah, they're $10 for just